There you go.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday. Nice hump day here in cold North Carolina. We hope everybody's staying warm out there. I'm Steven with King of the Deep, and this is Katie.
Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you're not too chilly, too frozen.
It's cold when we hear about all of our friends down south battling the cold front. So we're thinking about y'all, wishing y'all some warm weather like we are here.
So yeah, if you're here, say hey. Hey, Cash, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Is it cold where you guys are?
It is cold where we are. But yeah, y'all tune in. Let us know where y'all are tuning in from. If you are new, comment. Let us know where y'all are tuning in from. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. We've got the classes. We've got the rules, regulations. We've got all of the 2024 info for all of the classes, rules, regulations, and payouts.
All right here. Hey, David, and hey, Darius. I think, Darius, are you the one that's been commenting you were going to give it a try this year for racing? I think that's right. Doesn't that sound right? I feel like I recognize that name from some of the comments. Okay, so go ahead and share this if you know some people that would be interested. Let's just jump right in. One thing that was different than the last live was our actual calendar for the year. We've got, let me put the series dates up here so you guys can take a screenshot of that if you want it. That's our background on Facebook. These dates are all of the ones that we're going to have points accrue. So the very first series date is going to be at Iron Mountain, March 21st through 24th. Then the next month, we're going to shoot down to Florida. Then we'll be at Deep Creek in May. Then we're going to take the summer off because we all know that those bounty holes are hot in the summertime. We're going to take the summer off, come back in the fall for the second half of the series. We're going to do the Rec Yard and then Busco Beach Fall Bash. And then series championship is going to be at Grand River Motorsports Park, which I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about that park. And we're super excited about Iron Mountain too, because it's an incredible place. So those are the series dates. The one thing that is different than what it was last week when we talked to you was that last finale date has changed. It was going to be November 28th weekend, but now it is going to be earlier in the month. So
now we can have turkey and Thanksgiving at home with the family. So I hope everybody can appreciate that change. We were kind of hoping that was going to be the way it was, but that park had an existing date. We kind of worked out where we were going to do it on that date, and hey, we were able to get them to say, we feel like your standalone event is going to be a great one, and we'll have you come in a little earlier than
that. That's right. So, and last time we couldn't play this video because everything went wonky. So you want to play it tonight to roll out for the series? Big thanks to David Martin with DM Photography. He always helps us out with some really cool videos and graphics. All right, you guys. So what everybody wants to know is where we're going to be at for the classes and the rules. Steve, I will let you take the first part and talk about the classes. I'll pop it up on the screen, and then I'll finish up the rules. How does that sound?
Hey, you got the graphics up there if you want to do that. That's cool. I'm just finishing up trying to get some posts up here.
All right. So for the classes this year, I know we talked a lot about kind of what we wanted to do. Ultimately, this is where we're at right now. And this is not to say that we may not add a class, correct? Is that correct?
Yeah.
That we're talking about? So let's pop it up here and you can talk about it.
Okay.
The class is right here. Oh, let me see if I can make it any bigger. Go ahead and talk. You're on the screen.
So the 2024 rules are very, very similar to the 2023 rules. We didn't change a whole lot. Our small tire NA class, once again, is going to be a 32-inch and below. Make sure that you have all of the rules very clearly understood on the small tire NA class. That's a naturally aspirated 32-inch on a tape measure with a level on hard packed ground. That's the way we're going to measure everything again this year. So that's worked well in every single year. Once again, that's going to be a 32-inch and below. We like that tire size, y'all, because that kind of keeps the wheel size down. There's not very many 32-inch tires that have a 18 or 20 or 22-inch wheel. So that kind of eliminated a lot of the portals for that class. That's not a rule that you cannot have portals, that you can run portals in the NA class, but the tires may not be more than 32 inches. You cannot have any power additives. Once again, NA, naturally aspirated. Michael Harrison says rule number one, minimum rider. No, sorry. We don't have a minimum height requirement. So Seth Helton will be able to run. Don't worry about that. He's bringing all 478 horsepower, he said, with him. But back to the tire size, you guys. Tire size for that small tire NA class, same thing as last year. We love the way that worked out. The tire sizes, the bikes that will fit in that 32-inch tire and below class were great. We had so many people come in for that class, and I think we really have something great with the 32-inch and below tire class, especially the naturally aspirated. Once again, read up again on the rules on that naturally aspirated class. Those are very clear, very specific. And if there's any gray area you're trying to ride, you better let me know before the event. I don't want anybody to show up and get your feelings hurt. So that's our small tire NA class. Next is our small tire open class. Once again, this is a 32-inch and below. Run what you brung. As long as you can strap some 32-inch and below tires on it, that's pretty much what it is. It's a 32-inch and below unlimited open class. So anything that is an ATV or side-by-side motor and frame will be able to run in that open class. So once again, that's a lot of hot and heavy competition last year in the 32-inch and below class, and we're hoping to see that continue this year. Next, we're going to the medium tire class. The way that we are terming all of our classes that are over the small tire class are the medium tire is going to be a 45 and below class. So that's 45 inches and below will be allowed to run in the medium tire class. Doesn't matter if you're a 31, a 32, a 35. If you're under 45 inches, then you're medium tire class material. So once again, ATVs, side-by-sides will be running in the same classes, and the medium tire is a 45-inch and below class. So yeah, it is going to be fun. We hope everybody enjoys it this year. We tried to change a little bit, but also at the same time stay true to what we felt like was working for the guys that were really made for those small tire classes. Medium tire, we're moving that up a little bit. Last year we were at a 42.5. This year we're going to a 45. We're hoping to really I'm going to talk about those payouts in a minute. Jonathan Spain, they're very, very similar. We're hoping we're going to pay out more. We're waiting to see what that kind of pans out. But yeah, as of right now, I can guarantee you we're going to pay at least what we paid out last year, if not more. So I don't like trying to play the payout game as much as we can give away, because a lot of times that ends up running into us having to up our payouts. Our buy-ins. And we feel like everything kind of is a correlation from the payouts to the buy-ins, but we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Right now, once again, the tire classes for 2024, back to it, medium tire is going to be a 45-inch and below. Anybody that runs in the medium tire class has to be measuring in at 45 inches and below. So there is no minimum requirement. If you feel like you can compete with the big boys, if you want to run an NA bike in the open tire class, if you want to run the same bike in the medium tire class and the unlimited tire, then that is your prerogative. But once again, the medium tire size is 45-inch and below. There are no other restrictions on it. You can run nitrous. You can run in superchargers. You can do anything so far as power additives. The requirements, once again, ATV, side-by-side, power plant. So that's got to be an OEM engine, OEM for an ATV or a side-by-side.
Yep.
I'm looking at the questions.
It's just people talking junk to each other.
I'm trying to catch up on the questions, y'all.
So here's something that somebody said that we can talk about.
UTV, it would be nice to see they had their own class. They didn't have to work as hard as people do on ATV. Let me say this real quick. We kind of wanted to have some data on that before we kind of said, well, this is the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So we look back over a lot of this year, and the overall sign up and the overall participation just did not warrant us dividing them up. Also, not just the participation means, but also the results. There was such a thin line between ATVs and side-by-sides on almost any of these comparisons that we made that we did not feel like that there was a advantage one way or the other to have a ATV or a side-by-side throughout the series. You know, each hole might be a little different, and I'll say that. Mm-hmm. Each hole is going to be different, so there may be an advantage here, there may be an advantage there, but overall, the series did not show any one way or the other. And also, if we were to divide those up, if we were to have an ATV and a side-by-side class up, we would have to pay a lot less. So once again, we're just watering down the stew, so to speak. So we hope that these rules worked out really, really great last year. And we're making very, very minimal changes because we do feel like we've got some of the best rules in the game. So we hope that, you know, that'll kind of stay true. But let's see here. Kenny Wayne Miller, small tire NA stretch rules means no frame stretch or trailing arm stretch, correct? Now, last year I allowed trailing arms to be stretched, and that was the one thing that we had a lot of discussion about this year. The frame stretch is what's not allowed. The trailing arm stretch is allowed. That would be the same in our discussions. That would be the exact same as any type of suspension lift. There is no restriction on the NA class on restriction so far as the lift. What about stretch? Because some of us have stretches. You're not allowed to have stretches in the NA class. The open class does allow stretches. Now, we kind of got into this with some different builds last year, but the drive shaft must be OEM linked drive shaft. The differential cannot be mounted in a different location, so you must use the same mounting points. And the A-arms themselves can be the only difference. So if you have a stretch, meaning kind of like a trailing arm, A-arm set up, then that is what it is. That would be no different than a lift of some sort. So that's what we're kind of sticking to. Our understanding and our terminology is this, guys, is no frame stretches. Drive shafts must be the same. Differentials must be located in the same location. Anything that's done to the suspension so far as trailing arms, so as far as suspension, lifts, anything so far as high clearance A-arms, that's kind of in the same ball game as trailing arms. So we're gonna let that be what it is. But no frame stretches. That's right. No frame stretches, stock shaft. And look, if there's anybody that's got any questions, please let me know now. We're trying to get these things out as soon as possible because I don't want anybody building something that's specific and you're not able to run it. But
he's great about if you call him or shoot him a message, he'll talk you through it and ask questions and make sure that it's cleared well before the event. We did that with several drivers last year with their builds.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that. If you've got any kind of frame stretch to an OEM that's not going to be able to be ran.
Hey there, David.
Just because you're measuring it towards the max or whatever, we're going by the actual OEM frame and the OEM diff location and the OEM shaft. So hopefully that'll get right. If not, PM me, guys. We'll talk about that all night, man. That is one thing.
Run them together. It's funny because it's like through the years, we really haven't seen like the only year that we ever separated the classes was the first year. And even in the years since then, we've really seen people, depending on the hole, both sides win, so like, as you said, it's kind of been a thin line there.
Well, so far as the NA class and the open class, we were talking about that, and we did not have a ton of open class guys running last year. We talked about running those together, but at this point, we feel like that's the right thing to do, is to keep the classes the way that we had last year, the way that people were building those last year. Skimming is allowed if you can get on top of it, and you can give it the old beans and watch it go. Then that's what we're going to allow. There is no rules on skimming. There is no rules on floating.
Right.
There is no rules against it or for it one way or the other. So, race the rules, guys.
And right here, our lead pit official says he's going to be checking y'all in the pits over there.
Jonathan Lincoln said that he's stepping his game up this year, taking it to a whole nother level. He's got the magnifying glasses out this year. He knows exactly what to look for. He said there will be no bubblegum welding stretch frames in the NA class. So
yeah. Now I will say this: that, hey, if some big sponsor wants to come in and say, "Here's a pile of cash out of class," what would you do?
Yeah, we would definitely do that.
We would, but we wouldn't change anything about the tire sizes or anything.
No, but if we're able to add a class to anything at all, then we'll let y'all know soon. But right now, these are the classes that we have, and these are what we feel like are the best classes we can. Everybody in Florida disqualified automatically. Well, we got classes for everybody. They might not be able to run in the NA class, but they've got plenty of other opportunities.
That's right. All right. So,
yeah.
Do you want to talk any more about the classes, or do you want to talk? I mean, what do you need to say anything else about the payouts? I mean, I think you already kind of covered that. It's going to be at least what we did last year.
Yeah. Once again, it's going to be at least what we did last year. So you can guarantee that much.
All right. So let's talk about the rules and the changes thus far. Let me go over here so I can kind of go down. So we talked about in section 1, the classes that are changing. Class 2 or section 2, the only thing that's different is, which we already did this, 2.3, everybody that has run with us already knows that you have to have your own recovery strap. We're not going to provide you with one because people don't bring them back often. And it's your responsibility to strap that up before you ever come up to the starting line. That way it's strapped in the way that you prefer it to be on your own machine. We are 2.2 allowing what some would call mega UTVs, as long as they have UTV, ATV engines. Those will be allowed in the unlimited class. Let's see what else we've got here. All of these rules are on the website, kingofthedeep.com, and you can go to the Bounty series and click on rules and regulations. Okay, 3.9. Tethered kill switches are very, very strongly recommended on the ATVs. They are more than likely going to be required next year. But this year they are strongly recommended. We have a lot. We're one of the series that don't have a pre-registration. And one thing that we love is people walking up and thinking that it is awesome and that they want to be able to participate. And we tried very hard to see if we could find a source to provide something like that to where we were going to be able to plug and play it and kind of, or even just install it within a couple of hours before the race. But that's not available quite yet. And we don't want to exclude those people that want to come and decide that they want to try it the day of the race, because that's something that a lot of people do and they had the best time. So with that being said, we strongly urge you to do it. And I would highly recommend that you do that before next season. Where else are we? In section 4, I don't think much has changed. We do allow passengers on the UTVs, but they cannot assist you with any sort of driving of the machine.
They must stay inside the machine. Cannot ride the roof or anything like that. Okay,
let's see here. Everything else for safety rules and regulations is the same. As far as on your own personal body, helmet is required, of course. We recommend goggles, safety glasses, and fire retardant suits. All of that is the same as what it has been previously. Timing, measuring, and scoring regulations. Everything here is the same as well. 6.9 We reworded that just a bit. All runs are timed using our laser timers and also handheld timers. Sometimes when it rains, even a like big fat water drop can set off those timers. They're so sensitive. We do have the handheld timers. We've had people question that, and we have been like on it with those handheld timers. But there are times where we may, at our discretion, allow an immediate rerun before any other machines enter the hole. So basically, I think we did that once or twice last season, but that is going to be at our discretion. So, and those handheld timers, we very rarely have to use that, but we do that as a backup. Then lastly, in the event of a tie for championship points, the driver that has covered the most distance during the current racing season will be determined the winner. In the event that season distances are also tied, the tie will be decided on the lowest cumulative run times throughout the season. The only thing that's different from that than last year was that last season it just said the lowest cumulative run times. So it was more about the time than the distance first. This year we're changing it to be the distance before the time. So I say that, and I want to highlight that because everybody who raced with us in Florida last year knew that was an extremely long track, many more feet than any other event. So if you're going to miss one, I don't recommend missing that one, because if it comes down to a tie at the end, that's going to give you, that is like a 2,000-foot course rather than a 300-foot or 200-foot course. So that is much different. So I want to highlight that as well. I think that covers most of it. Anything else you want to add, Steve, about this year, the differences in the rules? I think that covers everything.
Just make sure that you read these rules thoroughly, and that if there's any changes from this year to last year, which there's very, very few changes that you're aware of those. We'll kind of put a list of what did change out there, but for the most part, same tire size, same rules and regulations. The only slight changes were from a 42.5-inch on the medium tire to a 45. We're definitely going to do some drag racing, Megan. We have not announced our first event,
Well, I have a flyer,
but we will let you guys know we will be doing some drag racing, and we'll tell you in just a minute.
Okay, so let me look back over these rules real quick. These comments. Here we go. So most of the stuff, as we said, is just like more procedural changes for everything. What do we have here?
I can't read it that fast.
Christopher, just send us a message about him. If it is, here's the whole thing about the kids. We just want to make sure that there's not some random person at the event deciding, hey, I'm going to put my boy on my bike and see if he can win some money. We want to make sure that the people are experienced and qualified enough to ride it if they are young like that, especially a kid, because, they're very easily persuadable. They think it's going to be fun. They may not realize, that it is dangerous. And so we just want to make sure that they are safe. If it is a kid who has been obviously competing places before, or you can show that they know how to handle the bike, even if it's videos that we see, things like that, that's fine. I mean, we don't have to do an audition out there on the track ahead of time, but we just need to make sure that these kids are going to be safe. So just message us about it and we'll give you the okay on him ahead of time. That's no problem. We just want to keep the kids safe. Let's see here. What else do we have? All right. Kids class, drag racing. Yep. Chris just messaged us. So let's go ahead and talk about the first event real quick. We'll pop that flyer up.
Katie's got all juicy details right now. 2024 series opener at Iron Mountain. Take us away, Katie. Tell us what you got.
Okay. So we are going to be at Iron Mountain Resort, which is about an hour and some change north of Atlanta. It is a 4,300 acre park. It is absolutely beautiful. If you've never been there, it is amazing. They've got all kinds of trails, all kinds of styles of riding. You're going to find the mud. You're going to find the hills. You're going to find everything that you like there. They also have one of the nicest pro shops I've ever seen, an awesome grill, a bar, an outdoor fire pit placed with, party lights and picnic tables and a stage. And it's just amazing. Do you know if Iron Mountain put water in? Yes, they have water, don't they? They have amazing water.
They've got some of
they got better water than I got at my house.
Yeah, they got some crazy water filtration system that they installed, and the owner showed us all about it. So they've got water, they've got power, they've got sewer, they've got crazy cabins, amenities, showers. Iron Mountain, in my opinion, is one of the premier destinations. Their amenities are awesome. They've got an awesome shop up front, and they've got probably more rental units than any place that I know of. So if you don't have a side-by-side, you can't get yours fixed in time, call them up right now and book your side-by-side, book your cabin, book your campsite right now. And that's, again, Iron Mountain. They are awesome on Facebook. Hunter is on TikTok. So check them out. Iron Mountain. Just search for Iron Mountain.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them. They're on TikTok too. Hunter is kind of like the face as far as like on the social media. I think he does a lot of the stuff, boots on the ground there. And he's a really cool person. If you go find him on TikTok, you'll be able to see all kinds of improvements that they've done. It's just an incredible park. So we're super, super, super excited about it. Okay. So we're doing our series opening event in conjunction with their annual Sasquatch Day and Ride. So what that means is they've actually got a man, and he is paid by the U.S. government to do the research on Sasquatch. So that's pretty awesome. He's been on the Discovery Channel.
He has been on the Discovery Channel talking about Sasquatch, and he knows all kinds of crazy facts and stories, and I'm super excited about the whole Sasquatch experience myself. So there's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. Once again, the series opener this year is at Iron Mountain, and we have an action-packed weekend for everybody. We've got a band coming in. We've got Thursday night, the VIP exclusive ride. There's parts of the park that you'll never know about. You'll never know how to get there, but they're going to take you on a VIP exclusive ride Thursday night. And then they're going to take us on a Sasquatch trail ride so that you can see kind of some of the part that you don't necessarily know about. And also you're going to see Sasquatch on that trail ride, and you have a chance to meet him and talk with that same guy. Also, we're going to have a cornhole tournament Thursday night. We've got a bunch of swag, we've got a bunch of stuff. And, if you've never been to Iron Mountain, they have an unbelievable restaurant up front. They have a huge entertainment area with AstroTurf for you to hang around their own little fires. So it's an unbelievable park. Come on in there Thursday night, hang out with us. Yeah. Friday night, everybody that has seen the blindfolded fiasco. You, your best buddy, whoever that might be, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, come out, and we're going to put a blindfold on you, and you're going to have to direct your driver with the blindfold on how to drive. So you'll navigate them as they're blindfolded, and it is an absolute blast to do. See if you can get a better time than the other person and who can give the best directions in the blindfolded fiasco. Once again, if you're asking about drag racing, we've got it coming up Friday night. We're going to have drag racing after the blindfolded fiasco, and then we're going to move on to the pavilion area up there at Iron Mountain, and we're going to do Boogie Bingo. If you don't know what Boogie Bingo is, it's a blast. It's music and it's bingo. What we do is we give you a bingo card, and it's as simple as it gets. We don't care if you use your phone, you got Shazam app out, whatever you want to do.
That's right.
It's just for a good time. It's just for a little bit of competition and some camaraderie for everybody that comes on in Friday night. We'll finish it out having a great time with Boogie Bingo. And then Saturday is just going to be action-packed. From sun up to sundown, Saturday, we're going to do the Little Dirty Kids Bounty Hole again, and we're going to be giving away and having some great time. The rules on the drag racing will be released probably before Friday. I'm going to come up with the classes and the rules. The payouts will be the buy-ins, and then we're going to have prize packs. We're going to do probably an ATV class, a side-by-side class, and we might do like a 250 and under class, but it's going to be pretty simple, Cooper.
Minimum 100% payback from the buy-ins. And this is like our starting point. Obviously there are sponsors that can jump on and add to stuff. So we'll get you all that. And I see everybody talking about the kids. We'll come back to that real quick. Let's finish out what we're doing on Saturday, and we'll come back to the kids stuff.
Yeah, we've got the kids, Little Dirty Kids, sponsored by Dirty Stripper Chemicals, going to get started Saturday. So we'll get talking about that here in a few minutes, and we'll get talking about sponsors for that. We'll go into the classes and payouts later on. But Saturday, following the Little Dirty Kids Bounty Hole, will be the King of the Deep, kicking it out 2024. We're going real big. We're going to be racing in the same area as you guys may have seen some of the previous events there at Iron Mountain. So it's an unbelievable great spot for spectators. It's got hills on both sides of that area. And let's see here. I'm trying to see. We've got following the King of the Deep bounty. We've got the Sasquatch Hunt, which is basically something really cool for everybody to do. It's going to be starting immediately after the bounty hole. I think around 6. They're going to start the hunt. Yeah. It kind of goes right there. It should be getting dark a little bit later than it is now. So from 6 and everything. Let's see here.
And then we'll have some live music to be announced who that's going to be.
That's right.
We're still, I think the park and, we're still working those details out. So we'll give you all of the details about more specifics as far as like the timing of the schedule and, who exactly is going to be there, sponsors for the series as a whole, as well as, the different events. If we get a sponsor for drag racing, we can throw some money on that. Obviously we're going to be taking sponsors for the Little Dirty Kids. I know a lot of people asked about the kids. We are going to be doing kids events this year, Little Dirty Kids bounty holes, but it's going to be similar to last year. Not every series event will have a Little Dirty Kids event likely. But we were going to do them as many as we can. So with that being said, we're not making it part of the point series as of right now, but it will be the individual races like we did last year. And as far as the kids bounty hole rules, we will get that together and release that soon. We need to talk to
hey, we were kind of rolling it out one thing at a time, guys. We've got so many different things going on. We're trying to get obviously our sponsors together for their 2024 series. So if there's anybody out there that would like to discuss a great marketing opportunity, King of the Deep, we give you a year-long sponsorship. We work throughout the whole entire year until 2025. And then, we've got awesome tiered packages for every level. We are very excited about our partners coming into 2024. We've got a lot of returning sponsors, a lot of people that we're talking with. But until we get a lot of those things nailed down, we still got some blanks that we've got to fill in. So we'll let you guys know as soon as that gets around to the payouts for the kids and everything else. We'll get to that as we get a little bit more information. But we're going to get it right. We're going to get it out as soon as we can. And we appreciate everybody tuning in and participating and showing some love. So we want to do it right, and we want to get everybody involved as much as we can.
And I think, as far as the kids stuff goes, I don't know that there's a way to always please everybody, but we're going to put our heads together and come up with the best thing that we can. I think that we see both sides of that argument. I see going on in the comment, not an argument, but, discussion going on in the comments, especially somebody who did grow up doing sports, an athlete, not on my behalf, but on Steve's growing up, I think he sees both sides of it, but I think we want to weigh.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, discuss it in the comments, guys. Talk amongst yourselves, be respectful, but just know there is never a 100% fail-proof solution when you're talking about how to, cancel one kid out or say, there's a lot of different options. And I'll tell you guys real quick, and you guys can talk about it in the comments, but, we've talked about race one or the other. You can't race both. Either you're racing as a kid underage that can race with the kids, or you race as an adult. That is one option. I'm not saying that that's what we're going with right now, but that is on the table as a point of discussion. So that's one way we could possibly do that. The other way is to basically come up with a class that is for those type of kids, but
like a novice class or a beginner class almost.
We haven't gotten in that area where we can really nail that down yet. So, but anyway, there's a lot of room for discussion. I would definitely say that we want to do what's right. We want to do what is fair. So I don't want to discount or disqualify anybody that's worked their buns off,
right,
and put the time, effort, energy into it.
But we also want to encourage those that are still learning.
But I don't want to have all these kids racing for second and third every time they race, and they really are true beginners. So we're going to figure it out. There is no easy, quick solution. So we're welcome to discuss it. And if anybody has anything that they want to talk about in private, send me a PM, and I'd love to input.
Yeah, and I think the hard part is like when it goes on the event organizer to decide at what point does somebody go from amateur to professional. We had that conversation like when it comes to other classes and other events that we've done. Some people obviously they're in one camp or the other, but there are some people that at some point in the middle there's a gray area. So we'll figure it out what we think is the most fair and the best way we're going to do it this year. And we may not always get everything right and make everybody happy, but we put our all into it. And we just do what we think is the best we can do with what we got.
That's right. And we want to do the best we can for everybody. So it's still open for discussion. And like I said, nothing is nailed down yet. So 2024, we're still trying to put together the Little Dirty Kids rules, the classes and everything else. And we haven't got that far yet, but we're going to get there here real soon. I promise you it's going to be within the next year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brooks.
Thank you guys. We really appreciate your support. I mean, it does help us keep going. This is not always easy, especially this time of year, because there are so many pieces of the puzzle that we're trying to put together. And it's a lot going on.
We'll just say this: we've got the payouts. Definitely is a start. We guarantee you at least the payouts from 2024. So that's at least $6,000 per event or more. Last year we started out at 6, and we ended up giving away 7, 8, 9, 10 at some events. So we definitely know that is where we are, and we're looking forward to adding to it as the time gets closer. But we promise we're going to get the drag racing classes and rules out. We're going to get the kids classes and rules out, and we'll get started on that. If anybody wants to donate to the kids class, last year we had a great time. Every dime, every dollar that was contributed to that, donated to that class, was given out to the kids on the spot. So Joe Touche, how you doing?
They really have, Brian. You're right.
Yeah, these kids really have stepped up. And, to be honest, we've got some kids that are just racing on another level right now. And that is what we want to see, and we want to continue seeing that. So everybody had to start somewhere. So just because they started and they're ahead of everybody else doesn't mean they should be penalized. And I don't think so, but we got to figure that out. So
we asked where the furthest race was.
Derek Becker. Who's that?
Michael Harrison.
What's the furthest event this year from Ayden? Alabama is going to be about 12 hours from Eastern North Carolina. For everybody, Michael Harris is asking about Ayden, which is in Eastern North Carolina. That's where we are. So we've got about 11 or 12 hours from Alabama. It's about 8 hours for the graveyard, about 8 hours for the event at Iron Mountain. And then the other 3 events are right here in the Carolinas. So we've got 3 events down south, and we got 3 events right here in the Carolinas. I hope that makes it where everybody is able to participate. Our calendar is just great so far as how well we've spaced out these events. Big shout out to the parks working with us and making sure that we were able to space these things out so that everybody has an opportunity. We tried to make sure that we didn't overlap any other series with our schedule. We got that out as soon as we could. So 2024 is just shaping up to be a great year so far. Once again, sponsors are welcome. Without the support of our sponsors, we would not be able to do this. And we can't forget those guys and everything they do. So big shout out to everybody. And once again, Super ATV and Specialized ATV will be coming on with us, and so many others. But please support those that support us, and come on in, join us if you'd like, because we've got plenty of opportunities for sponsors to join us.
Absolutely. And we just really appreciate all of you guys racing with us. You make it worth it, and we do our best for you. We're excited. We're going to try to do some other stuff this year, especially at the end of the year at the last event, to celebrate you guys all. Right.
Yeah, we got some big plans, especially for the final event. But I mean, guys, I'm so excited. This is the first one of the year. Put that up there one more time, that graphic.
Which one? Oh, this one.
For the kickoff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and look, it's regular park fees. So there's a lot of parks that charge you more for coming in or whatever, but just regular park fees for that. Please go ahead and like the event so we all know that you guys are going, and we've got a lot more information coming up. So please make sure you're following us at King of the Deep.
If you go to King of the Deep on Facebook, I already have a placeholder for every single one of these series events scheduled. So you can click going onto it. And then that way, any updates for that particular event would go in there and you would get, notification for it. We'll obviously be discussing it on the lives, but that's a great place to go for the updates. And you'll get reminders about it as well. Also, as Steve said, this park has a ton of camping spots. I mean, they've got unlimited primitive camping, but if you want to get a hookup spot, they've got amazing, like big hookup spots, like amazing hookup spots. And then also all kinds of cabins that you can rent. So I know that like for us people in North Carolina, you probably some people are not going to be able to pull, your camper and your ride trailer. So you can certainly, if you want to get a cabin, go ahead and get that booked. If you go to their Facebook, it'll link to their website and it'll take you exactly where you need to go. They've also got, as Steve said, a ton of rentals. So if you are only able to pull your Bounty bike, but you want to be able to explore those trails, too, because they have incredible trails, then just get yourself a rental if you don't have room to take both, because this is like the premier.
That park is legit, you guys. The driveways are paved with blacktop. The trails are very, very well mapped. They are very, very well marked. And you're talking about 4,300 acres of some of the most beautiful riding. You can see the Atlanta skyline from the overlook there at Iron Mountain. So we're just super excited. We wanted to bring our first event, especially to a place that we felt very proud of. And I think we're going to just have an unbelievable event. Please, please, please make sure you're inviting everybody. Please share this to your riding groups. You guys don't know how much of a difference it makes. Just a couple of shares, a couple of likes, and your comments here make a big difference when it comes down to, how much we get from Facebook and the algorithm and how much they want to help us. So every day we're continuing to work on King of the Deep. We work hard on this every day. Me and Katie are on the phone. We're emailing, we're calling. So we appreciate y'all's support. We hope y'all appreciate the effort that we put into this. And once again, please, Iron Mountain was looking forward to it. We are very excited. There's so much that's going to be going on that weekend. Come on in early if you can. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be awesome. We've got something going on for everybody. But that's what I think all we've got for tonight, you guys.
All right. They're coming in so fast. I'm clicking on the wrong things. Somebody asked about the ages. I think last year we did was it 12 and down or 15 and down? I can't remember exactly what we did at the Little Dirty Kids, but we'll get all that out to you. It might be something where we say, like, I know last year we had a mini Mutters class, which at the last event that we did. So that was, I think we did 8 and down for that class, and it was like 125 cc or less, which was, we only had like 4 or 5 in there, but it was so cute, and then, it was literally like scratch the dirt with the excavator and throw a little bit of water on it. But how like my 4-year-old still talks about it, y'all. She didn't even finish, so she got last place, but she thinks she won. So don't tell her any different.
Yeah, when you're 4 years old, they all win, you guys. It doesn't matter. Mine was the only one that didn't make it all the way out of the hole because I had a governor on it because
she's wild.
I was worried that she gets it from her mama, she gets a little loose, and I was like, what? Just joking. I'm just joking. But she definitely was hard on the throttle, and we had her dialed back as much as we could to keep her from running away on the little 4-wheeler, and she was the only one that didn't make it out. But hey, according to her, she won, and every one of those kids won in my eyes.
That's right. So we'll let you know. We have been so hardcore on figuring out all of the other pieces of this puzzle, and we're not even I feel like we just got the edges of the puzzle put together, y'all. So now we're filling in the middle. We'll figure out what we want to do about the kids and what we feel like is going to be the most fair. And we'll get, maybe that's going to be some age requirements based on classes. I don't know what that's going to look like, but we'll get you all that out just as soon as we very can. And Brooks, yes, we're going to get drag information out as well too. Same thing with drag racing. That may not happen at every event, but we'll let you know all the ones we can do it at. We will try to do so.
Yep. We got a lot still to nail down, but we wanted to get it out there as soon as you can. We are coming up on 2 months. So we, about 60 days out from our first event at Iron Mountain. We promise it's going to be worth your while. We promise we're going to get this information out, and we really do appreciate everybody tuning in and everybody commenting. And I'm definitely going to get in trouble. Nothing new about that one, is it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, oh boy, I can't imagine you guys have any idea how hard we've worked to try to put these events together. Big shout out to all the parks that really nailed this down and got this all taken care of. Once again, we appreciate y'all. Look at that calendar. Make sure you mark your calendars. Ask for your time off. Let your wife know whatever to get time off. This is a family affair. Bring the wife, bring the kids, bring your mom and them. But hey, we love it. We love y'all. We're ready to get it on.
Yep. We will be back. Hopefully next week we'll get on here and do another live with some whatever updates we've got for you thus far. That's what we'll try to do next week. As we said, if anybody's interested in sponsoring, even if it's not the series as a whole,
karaoke here.
If you have a particular interest in sponsoring the kids or, in the drag racing or something specific, we can definitely talk about that too. It doesn't have to be, the whole series for the whole year. So we'll take support however we can get it. And if there's anything we can do for you guys, then we will absolutely do so for your businesses. We would love to do that. I know that Brooks said that he's throwing in on every Little Dirty Kids event. Larry Sable told me last year he was throwing in on every Little Dirty Kids event. Dirty Stripper Rob's throwing in on every little.
Dirty Stripper Rob's throwing in big, y'all.
I'm holding
I'm just telling
everybody.
y'all right now. Last year, Rob gave to every one of the Little Dirty Kids, and he gave T-shirts. And this year, we think that we're going to just keep on building on that enthusiasm. Yeah. All the kids that won last year with our Little Dirty Kids, we hope that they had the time of their lives, and we hope that they just continue to love it the way that we do.
Yeah, and we're going to do our best to change things up. I think we did a good job last year, kind of that all of the holes were a little different, and I love that. So that's one thing we like to do is not make them all the same. So you can expect more of that this year.
Yeah, I want to see Joe Touche win some King of the Deep money.
Yeah. Are we going to hunt for Joe or are we going to hunt for Sasquatch?
Yeah, Joe.
Spoiler alert.
We have a suit, but it's nowhere as realistic as you in real life. If you just want to be, it's so simple. Joe Touche could do it.
Oh, look. Okay, Cash Dixon will sponsor all of the kids races, Cash Dixon Racing. Thank you, guys.
I love it. Hey, we're going to get with you on that. That's awesome. We appreciate that. And that's really what sparked our whole kids series last year or the kids event. Was just people saying, hey, we want to see the kids. We want to bring the young kids into this and that enthusiasm that it brings to the families involved. So
yeah,
thank you guys. We appreciate it. And we love seeing that next generation. There's a bunch of kids that, are in that same age group that I could say, I don't want to leave anybody out. So I'm not going to say any names, but man, it's just last year was a great, great year. There's so many young kids that are getting into the sport or growing into the sport, and we love it. So we appreciate that so much. It makes it so much, honestly, it brings so much to an event when these kids and their parents and their brothers and sisters and everybody come and see them race and support these kids, and the look on their faces just is priceless.
So done. He said, what's the pay? He's happy with the food.
I'll be happy with food. Hey, we got you covered.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And I would love to know, because I know we told you guys to be respectful and discuss it in the comments, but I would like to know from somebody like Cash, what are your thoughts on that? Or maybe like a way, like we talked, I know we threw out the idea of like a beginner's class and the mini motors.
Don't ask Cash. Cash can be like, well, let's see here. I think we should be able to run anything we want. How old am I? 14? I think we should run until we're 14. That's Cash
and a half.
right there.
Right. No, but
he learned from Robert Parker. He's going to pin those rules just so he can get in there. That's a true winner, in my opinion. That's what you do in any sport is you learn the rules. You don't race the racers. You race the rules.
Yes. That's what Robert always said.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
He's a disciple.
So I want to encourage all the kids, because I mean, really the kids are the future. So we want to keep growing that within that youth age. So, Brian said, isn't it fair to ask Cash? He will donate all kids.
No doubt. Once again, y'all, we appreciate it. We can stay on here and answer questions, but please feel free to continue to comment. We'll get on and respond. And once again, please like and share our event. All of our events are on our Facebook page for King of the Deep. We've got a social media team. We're about to unleash you guys. So big shout out to them. We haven't gotten that under contract yet, but we're super excited about nailing down our social media team. We're really going to bring King of the Deep to a whole nother level and to a whole nother audience, we hope. So just stay tuned. We're super excited. And once again, we've got a lot in store for 2024.
That's right. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. We're going to end it out here because we've already been on a lot longer than I thought we would.
Yeah.
And we will do our best to come back to you next week. Next week, it's this guy's birthday, and I'm taking him somewhere real exciting to Rob's house. So we're leaving, I think, a little bit midway through the week. So I don't know what day we'll be back, but we'll maybe we'll do the live from Rob's.
I'm flying somewhere tropical, hopefully.
Let's do the. No, you're going to Charlotte.
I'm going to Charlotte, y'all. In my head, I'm going to be drinking margarita somewhere on the beach, but it might just be Rob's garage. So
just pretend. Close your eyes and pretend.
I will. I'm going to have Rob blow on me like the wind.
All right. On that note, that's a good place to end tonight. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Super ATV, Specialized ATV, Off-Road Outlaws, Dirty Stripper Chemicals, Peraza Synthetics. Who else we got? Aftermarket Assassins. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. We're still working on getting all the contracts signed with them. But thank you to everybody who supports us. We love y'all. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you to the racers, and thank you to the parks.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one. See you soon.
Good night, you guys.